Okay, so now that we've done that, we're going to add in the actual map object itself. That's going to go under map classes, new item, code, class, and we'll just call it map. Alright, so pretty much we need to get our using statements in here. Map is going to be a public class as it normally is. Now we want to declare the actual map and tile sizes. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to just copy that across because this is going to be quite tight for time. This is the get and set functions here after. We don't really need them that much, but I had them in a previous version and I never took them out. It doesn't do any harm anyway. These are the actual layers. These are public layers. Public layer, tile layer 1, tile layer 2, and solid layer. Then we're going to declare a rectangle list. And you'll see the reason for the rectangle list in a second. As it says here, it's to hold the tile bounds. Rather than split the tile set into a set of textures, it's far easier to just get their bounding rectangles. This is just a temporary rectangle that will hold the tile bounds while we're adding it into the actual list. So we're going to make the constructor now, and it needs 4 parameters, and they're the same as the ones in layer, so I'm just going to copy them over from layer. And the same with this initialization here. So now we want to initialize the layers. Alright, so I'm going to copy these over. So tile layer 1 is a new tile layer with map width, map height, tile width, tile height. The same for tile layer 2 and the solid layer, because we want them all to be the same size. So what we want to do is we're actually going to add in a function for the user input here. Although it won't be doing anything at the minute, it's handy to have in. Pretty much all it does is move the viewable map. The map that the user can see, that you can see, is going to be changed depending on these input values. So D will move it right, A will move it left, W up, and S down. So we just got the keyboard state, checked if the draw offset is within the reasonable bounds, and then updated it depending on what there was. So you can have a look at that, pause the video and have a look at it even. Now the really important bits here are the save map and the load map functions. Okay, so we're going to say public void save map, and we want to pass a string which will be file name to that. Pretty much we're going to be passing where we want to save it, or where we want to save the map, and that's going to come from an input dialog. So we want to catch any exceptions. So if there wasn't a map name sent or anything like that, or it doesn't exist, or it's already there, then we want to throw this error. There was an error saving the map, and then the error code. So inside that, we're going to declare and initialize a Streamwriter object. So I'm just going to copy this across. So system.io.streamwriter object writer equals new system.io.streamwriter, and then the file name plus txt. So we want to save it as a text file. Then pretty much all we got to do is say, well, first of all we'll want to write out the map height, the map width, the tile height and the tile width. So that's objwriter.writeLine. Then we want to write the layers to the text file. And that's going to be tile layer 1.save layer objwriter. Same for tile layer 2 and the solid layer. Sorry if I'm skipping through this too fast, but it's going to take forever if you just watch me type it all out. So if I explain it as I'm going along, it should be okay. So after we've finished writing all our information to the file, we want to close it. So objwriter.close, objwriter.dispose. That's good practice to dispose it so that the garbage collector doesn't have too much work to do. So now we want to write the load function. And the same thing is going to be string, and we'll call it load file name, load guile name, load file name. Right, so same idea, we're going to declare and initialize a stream reader object. It's the same, it's in the same namespace as Streamwriter. You'll find these are very similar functions. So instead of writing to the file, we're reading it. We need to convert it to an integer, and that's fine. We've stored it in the variable map height. So we're going to read the map height, the map width, the tile height and the tile width. So that's the same order that we wrote them out in the previous function. Then we need to reinitialize the map layers, because we can't just keep the same sizes. They could have changed size now. So we have tile layer 1. This is the same thing we did in the constructor, just copied down with the new values that we've just read in. Now we want to actually load the layers themselves. Because we've written those load layer, that load layer function, now we have these load layer functions called, and we're passing the object writer to, or the object reader to them. And after that, same thing as we did before, we want to close and dispose of that object so that it's not piling up. Okay. So the only other thing we want to do is we want to enclose this in a try and catch. Alright, in case there's a problem with that. So let's just put that in here. There was an error loading the map. Is the map file a valid file? Well, we hope so. So that's system.windows.forms.messagebox.show. I know that's a bit wordy, but that's just how it is. So now we want to write the actual draw function for the map. So let's say public void draw map. Alright, so we'll put that in a giant try as well in case there's a problem drawing the map. Who knows why there would be, but there may be. I don't actually need these empty parentheses. Empty catch. I know it's not great practice, but it's annoying if things go wrong when if things could have carried on quite easily. Well, I'm going to stop there for this part, and we'll continue on. Just go on to the next part, and I'll just continue straight on from here.